Hello friends, welcome to a new coffee chat. This coffee chat is going to be all questions from y'all, so it's kind of like a little mini Q&A. Normally I take like one or two questions or topics from y'all and then I kind of fill in with things that I want to talk about, but I don't really have anything I wanted to talk about. So we're going to talk all about things that you wanted to hear. So some things we are going to cover are things like growing bundles. We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about weekly and daily sales and stuff like that. And we're just going to have a good time. So you go grab a cup of coffee. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. And I need it because y'all, I am exhausted. My kids today were not bad, but they were like busy. And so they just took a lot of effort to get all the things. But it was fine. So I am very tired, so I'm gonna need that double espresso. Anyway, I want to show you my dress before we get started because you won't be able to see the part that I want you to see, because it's amazing and you are not ready. You are not ready. You are not ready. Ah, isn't it amazing? It's so cute. I will link it down below. It's from Amazon. It's not the highest of qualities, but it was super cheap, so I mean, you know, you get what you pay for. It's super stretchy, which is really nice. I like that it has sleeves that you can easily cover with a sweater if you want to wear it with a sweater. I'm kind of tall, like 5'7" ish. I feel like I need to weigh or measure, that's what I'm looking for, measure myself, because people always ask how tall I am. I'm like, I have no idea. But I am fairly tall, so I actually wore, you can see, I did not think it was that short, but I was concerned that my principal would disagree, so I'm actually wearing a skirt, like a full-on skirt underneath it, which is also from Amazon. So I just put on like a black skirt underneath it and just wore it like, you know, essentially like a petticoat, but it worked out perfectly. It also kind of gave it a little more volume to make it a little cuter, so I will link that down below for my music people. Let's get some coffee and let's chat. Also sneak peek at what is to come. I love summer, but I will welcome a change. All right, hello. We are back with some coffee in the Be Our Guest mug. This is an Aldi, so I'm not really sure why I grabbed it, although it is black and white, so it kind of matches my ensemble. But yeah, if you're new here, coffee chats are when we just kind of get to sit down, chit chat. They are a good time to like catch up, to talk about things that have been going on, to talk about things that I've noticed, and just like really in the moment kind of stuff, because most of my other content is very planned out and scheduled. So I love these, y'all seem to like them too, so we're gonna keep doing them. First of all, I want to know what is up with you, so let me know down in the comments if you started school and how it's going. If you are no longer in the classroom, you can tell me, you know, how amazing it is to not be in the classroom. I'll take that too. But yeah, so we are actually a whole month in, which is glorious because we are finally to that point where yes, the kids are starting to get more and more out there, but on a more personal level, a month in is when things stop being like overwhelming back to school and start being more of a routine and more normal. So 2 weeks ago was the first week that I actually woke up on time every day. Last week was the first week that I woke up on time every day and had my life together after school. And then this week I started back with 2 choirs. So I have Monday night choir, Tuesday night choir, and actually like I'm feeling pretty good. Like I'm not feeling super overwhelmed or anything. It's Wednesday when I'm filming this. So those are all like really good milestones I'm excited about. And just overall, like things are becoming more routine, more normal, getting out of that like, you know, first week into a like crazy town. So my inspiration to you is if you're like just starting, because I know some of y'all start after Labor Day or right before, it does get better. Just give it like a month and then things will chill out a little bit. They're never gonna be super chill because, you know, teachers, school, but it'll chill out a little bit so that you don't have quite as much going on. Let's get started on some of these questions. So the first one, which actually kind of goes right along with what we were just talking about, is from Catherine Jolie Diaz. Jolie Ideas? I don't know. I hate saying people's handle names because they're always like that. I hate people saying people's handles names because they're always like that. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. But she asked about managing all the things like social and email and blog and all that, keeping her away from product creation. So a couple of tips, because I do have all the things going on. So this can be tough because there's kind of like the admin side of your business and then like the product creation side of your business. And sometimes you can get really overwhelmed with one and not spend as much time on the other. And most of us started TBT because we like creating things, not because we enjoy marketing. Although marketing can be fun, it doesn't have to be bad, but still, you know, most of us are here because we like to make products and we like making, you know, games and Google Slides and worksheets, and it's fun. And those things are fun. So it can be really frustrating when everything else is taking you away. So a couple of tips to help you with that. Number one would be to have separate times. So have times for your like managerial things and then times for your creation. Those are different things and should not be done at the same time. So have specific work times. I always give you that tip, have specific work times, but have specific work times for marketing versus specific work times for creating. Have those things planned out so that you get to have that time where you can create, but you're not creating so much and not promoting it at all. Along with that, make products you're excited about. If you ever hear me talk about my week and my plans, I do not schedule product creation. I don't at all. You know why? Because I love product creation and I will do it whether I schedule it or not. But I will not do blogs unless it's on the schedule, and I will not do YouTube videos unless they're on the schedule, and I will not do Pinterest unless it's on the schedule. So I need those things to be scheduled. I don't need my products to be scheduled because I will find the time to make the products because I like making products. I am perfectly happy sitting on the couch watching TV, making products, or, you know, stealing a few minutes from here or there and making products. That's how I make my products, honestly, is a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, oh, I have, you know, 30 minutes that I can work on this, or oh, I can work on products while I do this show. And that's how I do most of that because I don't need the motivation for product creation. That may not be you, but if it's not, then maybe look at your products and make sure you're making things that you're excited about and that you want to make. That may or may not be your problem, but you know, just be aware, because if you're excited, then you'll want to make it and you'll want to get it done. Next up is batching. Batching has like, I've done batching for a long time, but I've really leaned into it this year and it has changed my life. And I am now like fully on board with the batching concept. So batching is where you do like things together. And basically the way that I like to use this is I can batch things for a while and then not have to worry about them. So if you have things that you don't want to do on a consistent basis, like blogging. I do love blogging. However, blogging every week was really good practice and really helpful, but after a while it got to the point where I was just really sick of having to write a blog and edit a blog and like do all those things every single week. And so that's why I started batching my blogs, because then I could do a bunch of blogs at a time and then I don't have to worry about them at all. I don't have to think about them for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, depending on how long you batch your blogs for. So batching really helps. You can dedicate, you know, here's a couple of weeks we're going to dedicate to batching blogs, and then after that we can dedicate our time to something else. This is really helpful if you're like me and you have a lot of things that you're interested in and a lot of moving parts, because you can kind of put one of those parts on autopilot. Right now my blogs are on autopilot. I don't worry about them. I'm not concerned about them. Every like Thursday morning I go make sure it went up, and then I usually have a video that accompanies it, so I'll add that link in once the video is up, which usually goes out the night before. But other than that, like, I don't have to do anything at all, and that's how I like it. So I really look at that and just making sure that having something on autopilot so you don't have to worry about it. Same thing with videos. Although I am still making videos, I got ahead enough that because I was batching, I was doing like twice as much as I needed to. So like filming, editing 2 videos, but only posting 1. And doing that allowed me to do kind of a similar thing. Like, I'm not super stressed about my videos because they're already planned, they're already batched, they're already ready to go. And I have quite a few in the arsenal to go. So you can do that on a smaller scale. Like Pinterest is a good thing. You can schedule on Pinterest, you can schedule things for 2 weeks. So you can go into Pinterest, schedule things for the next 2 weeks, and then not touch it for 2 weeks. That's a great, easy example of something that you can do to batch. And that allows you to spend a little bit of time now and then, you know, spend more time working on other things later. And the last one is just making sure you have your priorities. So sometimes you need to be really, really focused on product creation, and other times you might need to focus more on marketing. So just being aware of like what season you're currently in and what direction you want your store to go in and all of those things, because like you are the captain of your ship and you have to decide where that ship is going. And so you have to decide, you know, what's most important, what do I need to make sure that I get done. No one else, that's the great thing and also the not great thing of having your own business is it's like no one's telling you what to do, but also no one's telling you what to do. So no one's like, here, do this. You have to figure it out on yourself. So you get to do whatever you want. But then on the flip side, you can do whatever you want, which means that you have to be disciplined about what you need to do. Just FYI, we're not gonna get to everybody's questions, but I just pulled out a couple of them so that we have some things. I got a really interesting one from Emma NLSS. And so she asked if I would mind sharing daily or like weekly sales. So she said, you know, she said, I know you share monthly, but it would be interesting to see each day. So right now we're coming off, so summer obviously was like nothing. And so we're in back to school time now. So it's kind of high at the moment, just FYI, but it's also kind of like a transition period of I'm not sure where it's gonna land. So like September, October is gonna be more of like a normal for me. Right now, I don't know what normal is, but I went ahead and I looked through last week. And so last week, for the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, which was the 14th through the 20th, I made $1,710.07. And then last week I made $2,114.40. That was the 21st through the 27th. So as you can see, like there's a big range weekly, especially right now with more people starting school. That's been a big thing. Every week has kind of gone up and up and up based on that. But last week, as far as like distribution of sales, again, just last week. So last week, Sunday was $233. Monday was $433. Tuesdays was $496. Tuesdays tend to be higher because that's usually when I send out an email. $327 on Wednesday. Thursday was $310. Friday was $230, and then Saturday was $82. So let's see, what's the average of that? So that averages out to $301 each day. And then if you wanted to do it without counting the weekends, because weekends are weird, then it would be $359. So averaging out around there. So I have really big goals at the moment of where I want my store to be, and so that's helping keep me on track. And again, I don't know if that's gonna stay. I don't know if it's gonna go down once we get to, you know, people are back in school and back in the swing of things, if things are gonna keep being higher or lower or what. I don't really know, but we shall find out in the next couple of months. But that's just the last 2 weeks. That is what has been. And for the most part this year, I've been shooting for like $300 a day is like my goal, averaged out. Although I've kind of moved that goal up a little bit, but you know, we can talk about that in January when the next income report comes out. Someone else who I'm not gonna call their name out because I don't want them to, you know, feel embarrassed or anything, said current slow sales. Is this something you're seeing too? No. My sales have never been higher. August is gonna be my best month by a lot. We still have a few more hours left of August, so I'm not sure where we're gonna end up. But yeah, no, it's been the best month ever, and honestly completely shocked me with how it has gone. So that being said, I have heard from other sellers that they have experienced the same thing with slower sales. And a lot of that, I see like two big things. Number one is people were not back in school yet. So with Labor Day coming, that's kind of like the last round of American people going back to school, because some people, like we started the first week of August, some people started the first week of September, and just like everything in between. So a lot of people had slower sales because not everyone was back in school yet, and that was a big thing. And honestly, I think this summer teachers were just like, I don't want to think about it. And so they weren't shopping as much as even they would on a normal summer, which I don't blame them for because that's kind of how I felt as well. But that being said, the other thing that I have noticed is this August has gone significantly better for me. And I notice a lot of it is because I have made a lot of back to school products, and in the past I didn't have very many back to school products. So I've been really leaning into back to school products. I'm also leaning into more things kind of within my niche, because I tend to make like, you know, whatever my kids are making and whatever we're doing in elementary music. But I've been making a lot of products that kind of go together in preparation for some stuff that we got going on. And so that combination has been very, very fruitful for me. So you're not alone. I have heard lots of people complaining about that, but I have not personally experienced that. I can't give you an actual reason why, because I haven't like investigated the other people's stores that have said that, but those are my 2 thoughts right off of the bat. And since we're talking about that, let's talk about one question, which is the viral teacher asked, what are your September plans? So like personally, not that much going on over here. September's kind of a dud. October is like when things are gonna get really exciting, and I can't wait. Although I did hear we might be doing something exciting soon, but I can't give you any details because it's still a maybe, so I don't know if it's for sure. So we shall find out. But not to totally tease you, but I just did totally tease you. Anyway, other than that, like business wise, September is going to be a lot of like hopefully routine things, like now that we're kind of in the swing of things. And so just working on figuring out that routine. I started 1 choir last week, the 2nd choir this week, and next week I start staying after school on Wednesdays for my kids choir that like I'm teaching. So that's gonna be an adjustment. I'm having a big adjustment at church because I'm in charge of children's church, and right now it's just me, which is really frustrating because I can't take a week off, but it's also on the flip side kind of nice because if it's just me, I don't have to be that coordinated, you know, because I can throw things together pretty quickly. But we're about to have more children's church teachers, and so that means I'm gonna be like in charge of a bunch of people, and so I'm gonna have to like actually have things prepared, and we're gonna actually have like lesson plans that I'm writing, because we're gonna have, you know, just a variety of people, and trying to keep it as consistent as possible for the kids each week, even if I'm not there every week. So that's kind of what like personally is going on. And then business wise, figuring out that routine is gonna be number 1. I am working on a course for my music people that's gonna be coming out in October, so that's a big thing. I think I made a list. I'm gonna make a list. Yep. So Centers course, Centers products, because they're gonna go with the Centers course. Fall and Halloween products are gonna be going out like the next 2 weeks is kind of my plan to get all the fall and all the Halloween that I want to do. I'm not doing a ton. I am trying to scale back on the seasonal things, which I have found is really difficult. Because I'm like, oh, I could make this, and I could make this, and I could make this. So I have a couple things in mind that I'm planning to make, specifically quite a few like Halloween things. I have like a game I want to do, and then a Write the Room, and then possibly a digital game, and possibly a virtual field trip. So we shall see. But I don't know if all that's gonna happen because I really want to get them out early. That's my new goal with seasonal products. If I'm gonna make a seasonal product, it needs to be out early. And I am trying to do more evergreen products and less seasonal at the moment, because even though seasonal sells really well at the season, it doesn't sell all the time. And so I'm just, you know, last year I feel like I spent a lot of time on seasonal products. So this year I'm like, okay, we have a lot of seasonal products, let's now focus more on more evergreen. So I have some things that I am gonna post, and some like fall and Halloween things I already have planned. Like I went through, as I was thinking through like my plan, I really did like 6 months at a time. I'm just like talking your ear off. I did like 6 months in July. I like really thought through like, okay, what do I want to do in the next couple months? What do I want to post? And so a lot of them are evergreen things, but I came up with specific, like these are some specific things I would like to do. So I do have some Halloween things. I have some Thanksgiving things that are going to be going up in the next few months. But with my seasonal products, I'm trying to get them up really early to give them the longest lifespan this year as possible. In the past, I have been very bad about like, you know, posting them way too late. And so I'm trying to get better about that this year as I do, you know, my next couple of seasonal products. I don't have a ton, but I have a couple that are gonna go up. And then, yeah, like I mentioned, my main focus right now is more evergreen stuff that we can use all the time. Partially because I just got worn out with all the seasonal stuff, because like I said, it sells really well, but it only sells for a little bit. So then it's like, if I want to keep doing well, I have to keep making a bunch of seasonal products. So all of that to say, I have a little bit going up, but not a ton. And those are my main goals for September: fall and Halloween, Centers course, and Centers activities that will then go into the Centers course, which is why I need to get those done. So those are my main plan. Oh, and then I want to get one Bible story. I think I've decided that that's gonna be my goal, is like one Bible story up in my Bible class. So I just got Jesus Walking on Water. There were 3 of those, and then I'll do probably another miracle this month because we're doing miracles at church, and so I have a few more weeks that I'm working on those, and so I'm gonna have to actually, I should probably work on what I'm gonna do on Sunday tonight, but there we are. So those are my main September plans. I don't have anything like super exciting planned, you know, personally, but that's okay. We're rocking and rolling, and then it will be October, and October is my birthday month, and I'm already excited. So that's where we are. I am, y'all, I'm like a child. It was August 22nd, and I was like, my birthday's in 2 months. I'm so excited. So now we're like less than 2 months. I'm like, I ask my husband all the time, like, when's my birthday? Is it almost my birthday? And he's like, no. Anyway, let's talk about things that you would prefer more. Natalie Dugard said, do you still do paid marketing? No. I did like a couple of promoted pins 4 years ago, 3 years ago, like long enough ago that I had no idea what I was doing, and I only spent like $20 a month on them, so like they weren't doing anything. I didn't know what I was doing. So essentially I really haven't had any paid marketing because those didn't do very well. But that did happen. It was just like a few months that I did that a long time ago. So I don't do paid marketing. I just, it's another thing to learn. And so right now I'm just trying to learn and like really perfect what I've got going on. If you want to do paid marketing, I would say go for it, but make sure you know your niche and who your teachers are that you're selling to, what your messaging should be before you start marketing. You want to make sure that you know like what you need to say to people. And then the other thing is, whatever marketing platform you're going to use, make sure that you like do your research and make sure that you're doing it properly. Because like I said, I wasn't spending much money on Pinterest, but I was wasting like 20 bucks a month because I didn't know what I was doing. So don't waste your money, like do some research and make sure you have that. And that's a big part of why I haven't done it, because I just don't know anything about it. And I would like to do my research before that happens. And I don't know, I just don't feel currently prepared for that. So one day I'm sure that I will, but it hasn't happened yet. One more question we're gonna go through, and that is from Une Belle Classe. And it says, I've heard lots of pros and cons about selling growing bundles. Have you ever done a growing bundle? Yes. So there's 2 different ways that you can do growing bundles, and there are pros and cons to both. The traditional way is you say, okay, I'm gonna do a growing bundle, and you basically market it like you already have it done. So if you're doing like something for 12 months, maybe you're doing 12 matching games, 1 for each month. You put it at the price that all 12 would be if they were all done, and you market it like that, and then people purchase, and then as they come in, then you get to add those, or maybe you give it to a discount while it's not still, you know, done, and then you add them each month. This one is helpful because you can get more money up front for your products, especially if you're making, you know, a product line, but it can be not as great because on the flip side, if you're doing this, then that means that you're going to be held accountable for posting those products. Actually, I downloaded a bundle that used to be a growing bundle, but it's like done now. And there were a ton of questions in the Q&A set that were like, when is the September gonna be up? When is October gonna be up? When is November gonna be up? And I was like, I don't wanna deal with that. So I don't do those because I am very particular about, I really try in my business to not have a bunch of time constraints because I work full time and I do all these things. I don't have the time for like added stress, and that just seems like added stress, people, you know, asking me about when they're gonna get this, that, or the other. So I don't do those. You can totally do them because again, more money up front is great. You can kind of gauge interest that way, but it is gonna be a little bit stressful on the flip side. The way that I do my growing bundles is I just put whatever I have in the bundle, and then when I add more products, they go in the bundle and then the price goes up. So it's only priced for what is currently available in the bundle, and then anything else is kind of a bonus. The downside to this is that people who purchase it get all the additional stuff for free. So I use that kind of as a marketing tactic, and I tell people like, if I make more products, like you'll get those for free, and that's really exciting. However, that means that you're not getting paid for those because those people are now getting them for free. So there's that. However, on the flip side, I just, like I said, I don't want added stress, and so I would prefer just adding them when they're done. Now, sometimes that means things like I got half of a product line done the other day and I went ahead and posted it because the sale was coming, and I know I have another half. So I didn't bundle them together even though they're a product line, because I didn't want people to be able to get, you know, pay only half and then get the rest of it when it's available, because it's going to be available really soon. So just bear those things in mind and think through them while you are, you know, working on your products. Both sets of growing bundles have pros and cons, and it just kind of depends on what you are wanting to make and what your plans are and what your goals are. Like I mentioned, I try really hard to not have very many like things I need to show up for at a certain time, because I just can't commit to a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's how I run my business, and that's really how I, you know, go about things. And I've said no to a lot of stuff because of that. I'm like, no, I can't commit to a recurring thing, or, you know, if it's like a one little like podcast interview, that's a different situation than like something more specific and long-term like that. So it just depends on what you are wanting for your business and what you're wanting to make and all of those good things. You know, maybe one day I'll have a great idea and I'll want to do it the other way around, and that's fine. But that's the fun thing about business, is you're in charge, and so you get to do, you know, whatever you want, which is what I like. Do whatever I want. Which is funny because I'm like the ultimate rule follower. So it's kind of funny that my goal is like to do whatever I want. Anyway, that's all that I have. So I would love to know your September plans, how August went for you. Did you see slow sales? Did you see good sales? How did the sales go? Oh, super important question. I want to know, was the first sale or the second sale better? Also, the like bonus sale, it used to be one day, right? Like I didn't make that up. I swear it used to be one day. Last year I think it was 2 days, because that's what my like data looked like, but I swear it used to be one day. I don't know. So far it's too soon to tell, but the first day of the second one was better than the first day of last one. So far I haven't hit better than the second day of the last one, but the day's not over yet. We still have a whole like 4 hours left in this day before we go to the next day. So that's where we are. Thank you for bearing with me. I was like super chatty today, which is very ironic because I spent all day long talking. I forget how much talking you do at school, especially now because I have 2 lunch duties and I take everyone to the bathroom. So I feel like all I ever do is tell kids to get in line and tell kids to go to the bathroom and tell kids to do these things. And I just talk all day long and it's exhausting. But I don't get to talk about my business, which I do really like. So all of that to say, thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you've been up to in the comments. I love hearing all about your stories and what you've got going on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.